Blessings, sisters and brothers of light. Thank you for being here with me today. I have a lot I want to share with you today. I will do my best to keep it concise, but it feels extremely important to address this issue now at this, what feels like almost like a time where, a window of time where we are crossing a Rubicon, where we are making the choice of what timelines we wish to be on, where we are saying yes or no to our soul intention to be light bearers in these times. And so I want to tease out a few points that feel timely and relevant. First of all, astrologically speaking, there are some key factors going on during this period of time. Now we are in September of 2025, and those intensifications are reflections of what's going on in what I call the field of Earth, where we are here in this Earth plane at this time. So these are the things I want to talk about from the perspective of a priestess, a light worker, someone who feels my mission and those I serve is to come and not only awaken myself and sort of graduate from this realm, if you will, to become more loving, to become more light-filled, but also to hold that light and to be a light leader and a light bearer for these times. So we see all across the world, depending on how much you're looking into, we could say, worldly things, we see intensifying, increasing levels of polarization, conflict, divisiveness, ideological positioning, and with it, more aggressivity, more confusion, more mental illness, more dis-ease, and more dysregulation of humans. And you can look in many, many countries to this, to see this divisiveness. And it's very, very tempting to take a side. It's very, very tempting to tune into what our morals and values are here in the realm of our lived experience and say, oh, well, that's wrong and that's right. And so I'm on the side of the right. And gosh darn it, I'm, righteously indignant about what's happening there on the other side. And this can make a lot of sense when we look at things and we see them through one lens. But I want us all to remember that if you are here listening to this, if you see yourself as a light worker, a starseed, a light bearer, or a priestess, this is not your first rodeo. This is not your first rodeo. We have been fooled before. And the name of the game is divide and conquer. So, when we live in the realm of the horizontal plane, where our consciousness is identified with our worldly physical experience, when we are at that level and we're not seeing things from above the battlefield, it's very easy to get polarized. Now, there are many of us on this planet right now who have done a lot of forgiveness work, a lot of devotion to the divine, a lot of inner clearing of our own stuff, and we do our best to stay up above it all. We want to see, like, wow, that's the realm of the horizontal plane is an experience we're walking through, but at the higher level, we are divine eternal beings, all one in the light of that which we would call God, Goddess, the great I am. Okay, so this is the place that I want to address everything from. This recognition, we are all one, ultimately. But here we're having these individual experiences. It's not to dismiss them. It's not to negate them. But the recognition that at a higher level or at a broader level, we are divine eternal beings. We are light. I'm not this body, I'm not this name, I'm not this hair, I'm not this ensemble. I am a divine eternal light being. But I'm having this very physical human experience, and I've had a bunch of them, as have you. And right now, we are in the thick of the ascension cycle. And so what that means, if we look from the higher realm, from the, let's say, the eagle's perch, to use a Pam Gregory term, we're on the eagle's perch, we're looking at the bigger picture. We can see a bigger perspective of the world around us. What we see is that the unloving systems are beginning to unravel. But they're not showing up as like, la la la, everybody's happy, let's unravel the unloving systems. It doesn't work that way. Because we have all been so deeply steeped in those unloving systems that we have distortion in our own perception. We have dysregulation in our emotional system. And we have what I would call a matrix of control, a dark net, a collective of human and non-human beings and systems based on human systems and non-human interdimensional systems that have a vested interest in keeping us from waking up. Because power and control is the name of the game for some beings, right? It's not about love, light, peace, happiness, and liberation and freedom. It's not about divine eternal connection. For those, let's just call it the matrix, which is, again, a collection of beings and systems that are both human and interdimensional and non-human, that whole group, let's say, they like the way things have been. They like divisiveness and war. That's louche for them. That's food for them. They like hate. They like suffering. They like torment. They like if you or I get righteously indignant and take a side. That's what they want. So we must remember this right now. We must remember this because at this time, as there is an acceleration of light, we see it in Gaia's tumults. We see it in what's happening there. We see it at the human level of things. As more light pours in, it gives us more ability to unravel those old unloving systems. They're all the bigs, right? Whether it's big pharma, big education, big ag, big government, all of it. All of it are systems that were born, birthed, developed, and propagated from a consciousness that we are evolving out of. We're evolving beyond. But those who benefit from that old system are going to do their darndest to keep as many people in a lower state of consciousness, the consciousness that created all those systems that benefit them, for as long as possible. And they really win when the light workers fall prey. And we've been seeing this since 2020. I've watched many priestesses and light workers fall prey and take a side and fight for a righteous cause in the battlefield of the old systems. Whatever. Think about what happened in 2020 and think about all the things that have happened since. Whether you're talking about nations battling each other, whether you're talking about government competitions between each other, whether you're talking about nations where other people are coming in from other nations. I'm using couched language so that this video doesn't get flagged. Whether you are talking about, any of this and more, we see the way it can be very easy, tempting to really polarize on one side. And what that does is it pulls us off our perch. It pulls us off our eagle's perch and plop, there we are on one side of the battlefield or the other. And that is a big win for the Matrix. Now, that being said, I don't want us to beat ourselves up because we all fall prey to it. I certainly have. And quite honestly, those times where I've gone in and really looked from one side or the other of the battlefield of the 3D Matrix Earth, I learn a lot from it. The key here is not to stay there. And this is where it can be very tricky. It can be very tricky because if we start to identify with whatever, the victimization of this one, we should protect the injustice of that one over there. And there's a lot of injustice. There's a lot of terrible things going on. But when we start going there and staying there, then we are literally choosing a timeline of more reincarnation cycles here in the 3D. So at a personal level, I wouldn't recommend it. But at the bigger picture, as light workers, we came to hold the light for our sisters and brothers who are not yet there, so we can hold a field of more steady love, light, intelligence for this ascension. This is what the role of the priestess is in part. Whatever your day job, right? You came to be a midwife for new earth, not a righteous stand for some aspect of polarized old earth. And so we have to keep this in heart, that divide and conquer is an old strategy, very proven, very effective. Furthermore, there's a whole nother piece going on here. Well, there's several pieces that we might want to be aware of or remind ourselves of. There's divide and conquer. There's also the fact that when truth is being revealed to the public of the shenanigans of the Matrix, what they are wont to do time and time again is, look over here, big, explosive, terrible, frightening, upsetting, polarizing thing. And when we look over there, we don't see the truths being revealed about what was going on in 2020. The systems that are actually the unloving governments in many nations now, the people are rising up and saying, we're done, right? The liberation of humanity is well underway, and more truth is coming out about that. But as long as we're over here being indignant about, as my husband says, the rage du jour, we don't see the rise of what's going on here or the fall of the dark matrix, the dark net. Now, I'm not saying there aren't things over here that are terrible. We are witness just the other day to some really horrible, sad, heartbreaking events, several, as well as the what we could say unloving responses from media personalities whose job it is to keep people in indignation, upset, justified righteousness, hate, let's say. Okay, so divide and conquer, weapons of mass distraction, and there was another piece here. Let me look at a few of my notes here. Well, I guess that's all that needs to be said. Divide and conquer, weapons of mass distraction. That's sufficient right now. We came to hold the light. We came to awaken. We are navigating something that I think none of us could have imagined how intense it can be. Because even as we are doing our darndest to be good humans in the world, good light workers, starseeds, priestesses in sacred service to the organic ascension of Earth, many of us are also digging out our own deepest, darkest, most fearful, painful shadow material. So that was the other thing I wanted to say. This whole revelation of the shadows, the apocalypse, the great revealing, is happening at the personal level and the collective level. And we know, many of us know as priestesses and light workers, that we are clearing our own stuff. We are transmuting for our family lines. We are healing generational stuff, and we're transmuting stuff for the collective. This is a level of mastery, sisters and brothers. This is a level of mastery that requires our focus. It requires our attention and our intention. It requires our devotion to the divine, our devotion to love eternal, to love light intelligence, to God, Goddess, the I Am, the organic ascension of Earth, whatever it is that speaks to you and calls your heart forward and lifts you forward when you're on your knees and lifts you up again. This is our devotion to that which is intrinsically good and divine and light and love eternal. And so to be able to walk this earth plane, not get pulled from our eagle's perch down into one side or the other of the battlefield, whilst clearing our own stuff, whilst clearing family line stuff, whilst clearing collective stuff, is no joke. It's quite intense what we are going through. and we fall down. I keep thinking of that song you may know by Chumbawamba. I fall down, but I get up again because nothing's ever going to keep me down. Let that be your mantra if you need it to be. It's a good song to dance to, too. These are the times we prepared incarnations for. And yet, we can prepare for a final exam, but we don't know what's going to be on the exam until we look at it, right? We're in the final exam. This is where we are. And we have come to serve the light of divine love, of the eternal, of that which is good in all beings, all sisters and brothers of earth, no matter how much distortion and dysregulation they may be in. And I don't think all of us may have realized just what we were up against in terms of this 3D Earth's spiritual war for your soul. Now, at the same time, from the eagle's perch, from the higher realm, we know we are eternally safe in the arms of God, in the arms of the Great Mother. But here, there is a battle for your soul and for the souls of our sisters and brothers. Will we continue to recycle in the realm of 3D through these samsara cycles, this wandering of the soul through these dense realms? Or will we graduate? Will we evolve? And will we support Gaia in becoming a planetary body that is one for a higher consciousness? So this is an individual choice that sometimes we are making on a daily basis when we're really mucking through it. Which is why I wanted to bring this message today. Let me just look here and see what else. The temptations to polarize will continue. The temptations to fall down in devastation, distress, fear, doubt, they will continue to present. This is why it's so important that we have our daily devotional practices, that we do energetic hygiene on a regular basis, that we have sacred community that lifts us as we rise. These are essential. And that we engage with the multidimensional divine master beings who are here to support us, because they are many. They are legion now. Whether it's galactic family of higher consciousness in other dimensions, or the ascended masters, the divine mothers, Christ consciousness beings, they have come in legion to support this very rapid transformation on earth and to support us. So have hope, have faith, have trust in yourself, that if you came here and you feel that call to be a light bearer, you have the wherewithal to do it. And lean into the places and spaces where you find support for that. Indeed, at the level of the playing field, it is not just divisiveness in this country, this political side, that political side, this family member, that family member. It's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war to hold and contain Gaia and her realms in a lower frequency space in order for the matrix to continue to have power, control, and food. That's one side. The other side is, nope, time's up. Gaia's ascending, and so are we. And many of us want to graduate from this realm, and in the process, serve our sisters and brothers through our light, our love, our meditation, our peacefulness in our own lives. Smooth some of the bumps of this transition. And whilst doing it, again, clearing our own stuff, strengthening our own stuff, our own ability to hold that light, to be a field of light. So I hope that this offers you comfort, offers you encouragement, a little pep talk for wherever you're at right now. I also do want to wrap this up with a final thought that as I record this on the 12th, this will probably come out on the 13th, maybe the 14th. On the 18th, Divine Mother Codes 2 starts, which is a series of high-frequency code set activations to upgrade our DNA, our frequency, our consciousness, in order that we may more gracefully, easefully, more supported move through this next phase. Through the end of this year and at least the beginning, if not all of 2026, we are in for the ride of our lives. And so if you have come to be an emissary for Divine Mother, if you have come to hold the light for your family, your community, your neighborhood, your leadership in any way, shape, or form, Divine Mother Codes is next level code activations to support you at a frequency level that will bring you the right guidance, downloads, activations, awareness, and direction for your next steps on your light leader, light bearer, priestess path. So if you have any interest in that, I would love to welcome you. The women are coming in right now. We have a beautiful container. This will be a safe, sacred container for women. And if there are sacred brothers who feel called to this, by all means, reach out to me because I know that we have both women and men who are called to hold the Sacred Heart of Divine Mother and Christ light at this time. Okay, so interested in that? Have a look at the link below. Either way, sending you much love, bright blessings, and encouragement for you to be and hold the light in these times. We are all in this together, and we came because we are prepared to do this. Much love, many blessings. Thank you for being here. I mean on earth at this time.